They do not care about our health. They do not care about our communities. The lockstep nature of these two major parties is absolutely disgusting. It really irks me. If it's not self-evident to everybody by now that Liberal and Labor have sold out, they are totally beholden to corporations and corporate interests over and above the community and those they are paid to represent. If they're not going to represent us, get the fuck out of that place down there.
Our next speaker probably needs no introduction. He is our local hero, an ex-president of Northwest Tas for Clean Oceans, and now our Braddon Independent Member of Parliament, who truly represents our community, standing tall and asking the difficult questions about what really matters: honesty, integrity and transparency. Just as he promised he would. How refreshing. Craig has been a long-term advocate for sustainable use of our waterways in order to leave them in a healthy state for future generations. This includes, of course, his opposition to in-ocean finfish farming. Please welcome Craig Garland.
Thanks so much for coming today. It's a great turnout. There's a lot on this weekend. There always is every weekend. Now, what a week we've just had. If it wasn't for the Bob Brown Foundation, the only true opposition we've got in this state, the Labor Party are as weak as piss, we wouldn't have known about this event. You know, what we've got going on down south is absolutely disgraceful. You've got dead and dying fish, thousands of tonnes dying every minute, crap washing up on people's beaches down there. The extensive seaside communities, you know, Opossum Bay, South Arm, Cremorne, 7 Mile Beach, all those areas there are living in fear at the moment, watching what is unfolding down in the D'Entrecasteaux Channel. It's absolutely disgraceful. And the secrecy of this government, if we hadn't pushed and probed, nobody would have been none the wiser about this mass mortality event. Now, there is no social licence for these salmon farms to be coming into our waterways up here. How can we have any faith or any confidence in this government to manage and regulate this toxic industry when you've got all that happening there and not a peep? So thank God for those people out there that do push the buttons and get the answers. And I can't believe the timing. 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a forum in the Burnie town hall. We had the jellyfish expert, Dr. Lisa Gershman, outlining what excess nutrients do to the water. It creates salps. Then you get the bioluminescence. Then you get the jellyfish blooms. Then they suffocate the fish. And also those jellyfish carry that bacteria which attacks the gills of the fish, which is the rickettsia disease. So as she was talking about it, it had been unfolding for 2 or 3 weeks we weren't aware of. And this is where we are now. Our waters, our oceans are intrinsic with our lifestyle. We swim in these waters, we feed off them, we stare at them, and we're amazed and gobsmacked at the amount of sea life that is supported by them. And it's great to hear the kids talking and running around here, because that is the real reason. That is the main reason that we are here today. It's about future generations. It's making sure that we don't go back to those dark old days when APPM was dumping their black liquor out here, which was killing all our fish larvae. Acid plant before that, dumping all those heavy metals. It's not ideal. They're trapped in the sediment out there. But as soon as you get overstocking and excess nutrients, it depletes the oxygen in the water. That mercury, cadmium, zinc and all those nasties are then released into the environment, into the fish species and ultimately into us. They do not care about our health, they do not care about our communities. The lockstep nature of these two major parties is absolutely disgusting. It really irks me. Now we, not only as a state, but as a nation, have some hard decisions to make, but they're actually quite easy. If it's not self-evident to everybody by now that Liberal and Labor have sold out, they are totally beholden to corporations and corporate interests over and above the community and those they are paid to represent. If they're not going to represent us, get the fuck out of that place down there. And you as a community, you vote for your independents, you vote for your Greens because you know where they stand, you know they will have your back, they will not let you down, they will not lie to you, and they will be there for you. So this decision coming forward, both federally and as a state, forget about those major parties, they are not in the mix, and we have to send that loud message to them. Now you have some good candidates, good independent candidates, Peter George down south, Adam Martin up here, all your Greens candidates. That is where you throw your support. And what I've found since I've been in that parliament, you don't have to be the smartest tool in the shed. You get support, you've got clerks that guide you all along the way. The whole system is set up to help and nurture anybody. All you need is to remember that you vote for a decent person that is putting your community first and foremost. And that's very important. Now I'd like to talk about the Blue CRC economy, right, with their trials out here. What they need to do is get their head out of their arse. It is not acceptable to continue this open net finfish aquaculture in our waterways. The real studies, if they're going to use our public money for part of their trials to aid and abet corporate interests, which I might add are all multinationals and not of this country, don't go there. We need to be doing the research on land to further the development there. And just recently, a 14-year-old gave me a submission he did at Marist College about doing that very thing. I'm seeing more sense coming out of 14, 15-year-old kids. So Blue CRC, you are not welcome out here. You use our public money to advance the technology and get this shit on land. This ocean here, the best way to feed and support our community, the salmon farms say, oh, you know, fish stocks are declining. It's so moronic when you're impacting the very thing that you're saying is being decreased, and then we have to buy your salmon because you've killed off our native fisheries. It's absurd. I did have quite a bit more to say today, but I'll leave a bit of room for somebody else. Thank you so much for your support and belief. I have got great staff. I want to give them a bit of a leg up at the moment because I'm just the mouthpiece. I do all the theatrics and what have you, but my staff, I cannot commend them highly enough. They are so committed for the best interest of this state, putting forward arguments. I go into the office of the day down there, I go, Steve, what are we going to whack them with today? And other stuff I don't know about, he does the research, ticks all the boxes and gives me the information to roll out in Parliament. And I feel so privileged that I'm in that position because for years and years and years, I felt like I was going mad. I felt like there was nothing happening. I was chasing seal relocators down the highway and I thought I can't do this anymore. So politics, I would ask anyone out there, any of you young people that have got any thought about going into politics to represent your community in the best interest of future generations, by all means do it, and I'll give you any support that you want to get to that position. And thank you again for coming today.